Welcome to Ressa's Take. I'm so glad you're here. Each week, we will tackle some common challenges that we all often experience in life, and I'll share my take on the topic, along with some of my learnings from my own experiences. This is all about navigating life together and unlocking our best selves, one conversation at a time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ressa's Take. Thank you for joining me today. Hope that your week is going well. Mine has been crazy busy, but that's the norm these days. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you all through today's topic. It is one that I am feeling very intimately at the moment. And I really just felt like it was something that is good to bring to the podcast and talk through in an episode. So today we are going to talk about having success and starting to kind of question, like, is this really based on like me, or did I just get lucky? And how we can start to push through the doubt that we experience and accept the fact that like we did that, we earned that. So we'll talk through that today. I'll share a little bit about my own experiences, some tips that I gained online just by researching the topic, and hopefully something that'll help you out. So speaking of all of that, have you ever been successful at something and just felt like you didn't deserve it? Now, there are some people that are the opposite of that and just think that everything is all attributed to them. And that is a topic for another episode. But, even if it's just at a point in your life, maybe this doesn't happen all the time, because it doesn't happen all the time for me, but like, have you ever been successful at a task, a job, a project, whatever, and just felt like you're getting all of this praise and you just feel like, I don't know, like, was it me? Maybe imposter syndrome kicked in because you beat some odds to get where you are today and you question if you've earned it or if you just got lucky. Or maybe you have survivor's guilt because you made it out of a tough situation and became successful, and others that you love or grew up with haven't. Or maybe it's something else that happened in your life and it just makes you question your success. Getting underneath why you feel that way is important, because more likely than not, it's not grounded in facts or reality. It's likely grounded in insecurity, false narratives that have maybe been projected onto you, or some other invalid reason that's not actually grounded in truth. Whatever the reason may be, I am here today to remind you to cut it out. Just because you feel it doesn't make it true. Today's episode is not to talk about imposter syndrome or all the things that convince you that you don't deserve what you have in fact earned, but it's about reminding you why you do. But I get it. Sometimes the lines can feel blurry. I struggle with it too. And that's, like I said, what prompted this episode. And sometimes when we achieve success, we don't feel as happy as we should. And I just want to know, like, why is that? I read an article in Harvard Business Review where Ron Carucci, I hope I pronounced his name right, where he talks about why success doesn't always lead to satisfaction. He had cited a study that shared that many successful professionals struggle to actually enjoy their accomplishments. One study found that 72% of successful entrepreneurs suffer from depression or other mental health concerns, and CEOs may be depressed at more than double the rate of the public at large. He talks about how rather than celebrating our successes, we often immediately compare ourselves to the success of others, or we focus on the goals that we didn't meet rather than all of the things that we actually succeeded at. Our enoughness gauge is off. He goes on to talk about how we need to recalibrate our relationship with satisfaction. And I personally can definitely relate to this. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and anyone that knows me personally listening to this is probably going to say a bit. That's an understatement. But, if I'm in a situation where I feel like I did well in 4 out of 5 areas, my brain fixates on what I could do better next time in that one area. It's literally just ridiculous. If satisfaction is perfection, then we'll never be satisfied. And I wanted to bring this article up because I feel like when we struggle with accepting our success, we often try to find reasons to downplay it. And searching for the few things you didn't get right is often where we start. But again, I'm here to tell you to cut it out. Are there people that are given things, promotions, business deals, awards because of who they know or some other unfair reason? Yeah, sadly, that is true. But let's be for real. If that was you, you would know without a shadow of a doubt. So stop giving yourself a false narrative to reaffirm the lies that you're telling yourself to downplay all that you've actually achieved. I am currently dealing with this. So this episode and all of this reframing is me trying to actually help myself as much as it is trying to help y'all. And I know that on last seasons of Ressa's Take, I mentioned a few examples of how I've struggled with imposter syndrome and survivor's guilt and just overall self doubt. And it's been the bane of my existence for decades. I've gotten better at learning how to reframe things, but it's still something that I'm working through. Let me share a quick story with you. So, for those of you that may be new to Ressa's Take, for my day job, I work in the human resources and talent development field for a global company. And in the last episode of Ressa's Take season 1, I talked about how I felt like I was at a crossroads in my career. I had a fast career trajectory. It was very fast paced with high impact and high visibility roles that I just was feeling exhausted and was contemplating what my next step would be. So I was talking through that in that episode, and it's been quite a bit that's happened actually since then in the last few months. As of November 1st, I've started a new role within the same company, and it was actually a promotion, which is awesome. Your girl is now a vice president of people and culture, y'all. That sounds so amazing, doesn't it? But it comes with a lot of responsibility. But you're probably wondering, okay, you were talking about being overwhelmed, but you took on a promotional role. Make it make sense. And I don't blame you if you're even thinking that. But like any career move I make, I was very intentional when I even decided to interview for the role and when I ultimately accepted it. I've mentioned it before, but I don't chase titles. I don't chase money. Like all of that is awesome. Obviously, like it's dope to say, oh, yeah, I'm a VP of people and culture. Like that sounds good. It feels good. And obviously, the promotion and salary increase or whatever else that comes with it is amazing. So while I am hyped about it, which I'll talk about in a second, that's not what drew me to it. I felt like it was the right next step for me because it allowed me to go back into a space where I was really familiar. It's something that I have experience in. I'll be able to lead a team of strategic HR partners. And that's the scope of work that I did for over 10 years in my career. So it was a good balance of familiar work and new challenges for me. So now that I've caught you up, let's get back to today's topic. When I got the call for the offer for the role, I was ecstatic. Then, after accepting and hanging up the phone, my feelings literally went into overdrive. While still, any role is going to be nerve wracking, I was less intimidated by the work and more intimidated by the level of responsibility that I will hold for the success of the job that I will need to do. And I'm like, can I really do this? What if I fail? Is there really no one else more qualified than me? What about all the people that I will let down if I don't get this right? Should I have played it more safe? Did I push it too far? Is this too big for me? Did I make a mistake? Within 24 hours, I was contemplating why I got the role. I was fearful of what it would mean if I failed. And while I didn't regret accepting, I was questioning if I was really qualified enough to do the job. And let me tell you, the devil is a liar. I am certainly qualified. I have a proven track record of leading global teams, successfully designing and delivering complex global strategies and programs, and effectively influencing and collaborating with senior leaders across the company, including executive leadership teams. And this is not me bragging. This is me reminding myself it's not luck. I earned that. I have a lot to learn still. I won't be perfect. Mistakes will be made. I have a lot to figure out and learn, and that's normal. But I can't let fear, imposter syndrome, or other people's perceptions of me take that success away from me. And neither should you. You probably listened to that story like, okay, so what were you so nervous about? Well, repeat that back to yourself and think about what makes you feel like maybe it could be luck. Stop thinking of all the reasons that you don't deserve this and remind yourself of all the reasons that you do. Why you? Well, why not you? Regardless of what it is that you've seen success in, whether your job, school, hobbies, your talents, whatever, it likely was not handed to you. You practiced, you tried, you made mistakes, maybe, you learned, you tried again, and step by step, you've been working to get better, achieve your goals, and be successful. And guess what? You have. You made it to where you are today because of your hard work, dedication, your willingness to try, your willingness to learn. You may have pushed through feelings of imposter syndrome or criticism from others that are likely just intimidated by you, or rejection from those that you love that may have wished you chose a different career or major or whatever it may be. And overcoming all of that alone is an achievement. And even if your journey to where you are was a mix of successes and failures, congratulations, you're normal. That's how success works. We can't be perfect all the time. And how can we be our best selves if we don't have anything to learn and grow from? Whatever failures you've experienced are a part of your success story too. You've persevered, you are resilient, you are smart, you are successful. It is not luck. Don't reduce your hard work to that. Don't minimize your effort, your ability, or your brilliance just to chance. It's not chance, it's you. You did that. All right, y'all, before we wrap up, let's talk through some recipes for when you start to feel doubts about the merit behind your success. So first, reflect on why your success is so hard to accept. Take some time to think about what makes you feel like you need to question your success. Are you comparing yourself to others? Are you focused on the few things that didn't work out instead of the majority of things that did? Are you holding yourself to an unrealistic standard? Are you deflecting success because embracing it now could make a future failure harder to accept? Start by getting underneath what's making you feel that way so that you know what you need to overcome. Number 2, be humble, but don't discount yourself. Embrace and celebrate success, but don't go so far that you're arrogant about it. It's important that we find that right balance of humility. You don't want to discount yourself so much that you undermine your own ability, but you also don't want to be so arrogant that you're unable to acknowledge that you aren't perfect and you may have made mistakes. It's also important not to attribute success solely to you and end up losing sight of all the people you worked with that may have also made it possible. It's important to find that healthy balance in the middle. Number 3, let the truth be louder than the noise. When we doubt ourselves, it quickly becomes easier to believe the stories we create in our head. Just remind yourself to stick to the facts. Think back on all the things that led to this moment, the lessons you learned, the small successes along the way, the qualifications you have and bring to whatever you're doing. Let truth be louder than the noise. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today's episode. As always, thank you so much for listening. Remember to quit being so hard on yourself. Don't minimize your hard work. It's not luck. You did that. I really look forward to chatting with you all again next time. I hope you have a great weekend. God bless. And that's a wrap. Another candid chat among friends. If today's episode resonated with you, hit that follow button, share the episode with your friends, and leave a review. I would love to hear what resonated most and love to hear any of the thoughts that you have on the episode. Hope to see you soon, and don't forget to drop your questions or insights on our Instagram at Ressa-pes.